You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California. Hey, you know how when life kind of throws you a zinger, you just got to keep on going? Well, today I was supposed to interview someone, but they couldn't make it because of a family emergency. And then all of a sudden, someone emails me and says, hey, I want to be on your show. And you know what? Amazingly, it's about a subject that's near and dear to my heart. So I said, okay, let's do it. Let's go. And that was the best thing because this has been divinely orchestrated. I have got a gentleman, Stan, from Australia, and I'm not going to say his last name because I can't say it, and I don't want to embarrass him or myself, but I will be putting it up underneath the video and putting it in the description for all the places that we stream the show. So you'll get all of his information because I'm going to tell you, you need to know this man. He developed ESP code for numerology. And he has got all of this incredible information that, wow, you're just going to love it. On top of it all, I have a very good feeling you're going to be seeing a lot of Stan because he is, after my interview, going to be coming on to Law of Attraction Radio Network, where you can call in and ask him questions, and he can help answer your questions about your numerology code. This is very, very exciting, and I'm just delighted. You know, you just got to trust the universe that things are going to work out even better than you anticipate. Just let go and let the universe bring it to you. So I am very fortunate to be introducing you to Stan, our new numerologist, and you're going to love it. So sit back, relax, get a cool beverage, and just learn because you're going to love it and you're going to want to talk to him personally. I can guarantee it. So with that, let's take a fast commercial and we will be right back with my terrific guest.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind the Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Did you know that every human uses only a small portion of their powerful mind? Jules Johnson, international certified hypnotherapist, wants to introduce you to your powerful mind in order to create your dream life. In as little as one session, Jules guides you into releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from achieving wealth, health, better relationships, and even true love. Schedule a session in Palm Springs or set up a Skype video session for those nationally and internationally. Jules would love to serve as your guide into living your dreams. Go to creativeguidedimagery.com or call 951-201-2166. That's creativeguidedimagery.com.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Be sure to sign up for your monthly updates and get all the latest information on LOA radio events such as cruises, workshops, and seminars, as well as information on the latest shows, topics, and guests. Go to loaradionetwork.com and sign up today.
Well, welcome, Stanley Tsiamoulis. I hope I said that right.
Quite right, that's fine.
Good. I'm so glad you could be with us today because you have developed a new numerology system. And I think this is pretty exciting that you could share this with everybody. And I'm so curious about it because I'm a big believer in numerology. So tell us why this code that you developed is so different.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on the show, Jules. The code is called the ESP code, Essence, Soul, and Purpose code numerology, and it's a 4-numbered system based on the infusion of the planets in our solar system. So it's quite unique in the sense that we all have biorhythms and cycles, and I'm obviously a big believer in numerology myself because I have a paraphrase: astrology is the science of God, mathematics is the language of God, and numerology is the code of God. And with the people that I'm with, when people understand their code, they can maneuver with their biorhythms, if you will, just like the sine wave, and they can sift through the confusion and the overwhelm, especially what's happening in 2020 and now 2021. And so basically, our first number is the infusion of the sun and moon together. That gives us what we call our identity number. Our year of birth is Mercury to Pluto in its simplistic form, summarized down to a single digit, and that's our type of identity. So now we have our first number is the identity, the second number is the type of identity. When we add those two numbers, we get what is known in the numerology world as the life path number or the character. We then add those 3 numbers now, and we get the last number being the ESP code, the 4th number. So now we have a 4-numbered sequence code, and that code, when my clients are connected to me, is I mathematically realign them, if you will. And synchronicities begin to manifest a lot faster, and people see the synchronicities around them, the deja vus or the coincidences, if you will. So I'm all about speed and accuracy. So this is quite unique, and it's a beautiful system that people can get to know themselves at a deeper level, their subconscious level, and it can give them validation, in their business life, in their personal life, in all facets. It's limitless, Jules.
Wow, this is terrific. Now, you live in Australia.
Yes, I'm in Sydney, Australia. It's currently
Sydney?
4:15 in the morning here. I'm 19 hours ahead of Pacific.
Oh my goodness, 4:15 a.m. Oh my goodness.
That's good.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
No,
This is
you're welcome.
great. This
You're
is
welcome.
great. I didn't realize it was so early there, so I apologize for giving you up so early. But you sound like you've been up all night. You're very articulate.
I'm pretty much, I'm a night owl.
Oh, good. So right now, let's get into the real deep stuff, because let's go into what's happening in the United States right now with the elections. And I know everyone is a bit nervous about it. We don't know what to expect. Can you give us a clue?
Yeah, I mean, all of Earth really is watching carefully what's going on with, the elections and the so-called elections and the inauguration and what have you. But 2020 was a full year on Earth, and 2021, Jules, actually started on the 15th of September last year, so about 2.5 months back, or 3 months back, sorry. So 2021 is 5. 4 is about structure, and we're forced and grounded and locked in, so to speak. 5 is about speed. and travel. It could also be astral travel. Now, in relations to the President Trump, he was running a 6-year in 2020. So he had a lot of frustrations and legal stuff hitting him. He's actually kicking into a 7-year, which is spiritual year. But the US as a country was also running a 6-year, and that's coming into a spiritual year. So I believe spiritually that even though there's nervousness about the so-called president-elect coming in and so forth, I believe something will happen that will be a big change for not just the US, but for all of Earth. And things may unfold this coming week, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. And it has to happen. There has to be a lot of more truth come to the surface, because we've known in, say, the last 10 or 20 years, so many different conspiracy theories, if you will.
Yes.
And however, there's a lot of there's been a lot of accumulation. Donald Trump's code is actually a 2248, so he's very thorough. He's strategic. He understands the legality sides, but also the accounting sides and the investigative side. So, I believe he's planned. He's researched. He's had a lot come at him, but at the end of the day, the US is in a spiritual year. So I believe there's a higher force coming to protect America, and in essence really protect Earth. And so even though things may unfold this week, I still think there's some things happening behind the scenes. So these next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting.
Wow. And you mentioned the space, I mean, the entire world. And yeah, I'm getting that too. It's like Trump talks about UFOs. He talks about all these things. And of course, I tend to think he's very, very brilliant. And he's like 5 steps ahead of everybody. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah, no, um, he just knows how to have a mentality to try to get the end result, and to do it for the people. I mean, his uncle, Professor John Trump, he was the one that seized Nikola Tesla's papers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you think of the looking glass technology and time travel technology and what have you, there may be things within the Trump family scientifically that he may have like up his sleeve, so to speak, like a trump card. Um, However, I just feel there's a higher source and a higher collective consciousness right now that people have really had enough, and that's why they should look within. And this beautiful science of astrology and the simplistic of the ESP code numerology, what I'm trying to guide people, and also all these other healers and light workers, all their modalities, they're very much needed right now, because people have a lot of confusion, anxiety, and they haven't looked within. They were forced to look within in 2020, where a lot of people have already been doing this for quite some time. So yeah, I think there's eh, the events have already probably happened that we've been waiting for. They just have to play their role, because you can't have something be just suddenly impact straight off the bat, because people will get a big shock. So, but I think 2021 is definitely going to speed up.
You do. Okay. I'm hoping for the best here, but I think you're right. To me, it's like there's a huge distraction. Everybody is so focused in on what we don't know is going to happen that it's actually kind of distracting us from our own internal self. There's a lot of fear, and especially around this COVID. And I know Australia is being has to do a lot with COVID right now. There's a lot of restrictions in Australia, isn't there?
Yeah, Sydney about a week or so ago went into a little
Lockdown.
bit more lockdown in terms of and wearing masks and what have you. Um, and our political system as well is obviously all goes back to the derivative of the UK system, and you see like Australia, UK, and America. In its law, it's all linked. You look at the flags; the colors are all the same still. They're blue, white, and red, and they're all. People have to understand also law in terms of the law of the sea as opposed to the law of the land, and we have to go to the law of the land, which is common law, and it has to happen, because at the end of the day, that's what all our Western countries' constitutions are based on. So, I mean, it's just people collectively, it's not just the awakening, they have to each play their part to rise through the fear and push through the fear, because God put us here to nurture and bring forth our gifts, because that's how you can really manifest and create magic, if you will, and be more valuable, more productive. And Earth needs it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things going to be happening these next few
What?
weeks. Will be interesting.
Yeah, in the next few weeks, especially. So, talk to us a little bit about COVID then. COVID, what is that about? Does that have a code? And why are we manifesting this?
The COVID I broke down the COVID. Actually, COVID-19 formulates to 666 in its number, but 666 also, if you
Uh-oh.
look at it, 666 also at the artificial intelligence level, if you will, is protons, neutrons, and electrons. And artificial intelligence and data has already terraformed Earth. So the people, these social platforms, what have you, they already know how to play the narrative. So that's why there's there could possibly be a military internet or a military communication that that can give you truth, 100% transparent
Are
information.
are you talking like Q?
Yeah, there's Q, but there's also I think it's called EOS. I can't remember, but it's a military
Oh,
technology that quite possibly could stop all the other social platforms, and this could run for about 10 days. However, if people don't have a lot, not everyone has the ability to seek deep. Some people want to, some people don't. Some people are happy just going with the narrative that's in front of them. It's everyone's at different ascension levels in their souls. So but definitely in 2021, things will ramp up, and COVID, as you said, is also just a distraction. And the same thing with all these tech giants and their censoring.
yeah,
They're
Twitter
just
and Facebook, yeah.
it's just a distraction. And inevitably, if the people rise up, those platforms don't have to be there, because other platforms come and people can join those. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like what President Trump said 4 years ago: for the people, by the people. And that's how all government should be on earth. So there has to be people's souls eventually get fed up, and they rise. um, so let's see how it unfolds in 2021.
Wow. But whatever way it ends up, you feel it's going to be a good thing. It's just an awakening for us. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
no,
saying?
I think so. I think there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that a lot of people that have sought and going, well, why didn't it happen? I think it has been happening behind the scenes. And COVID could also be a way to clean a few things up. So sometimes things are necessary to implant a few things. And 5G,
Yeah.
those frequencies, I know people talk about the health disadvantages of 5G. I don't think that's the main issue or the main concern. 5G, what 5G is going to be, it's going to be so many towers and triangulation where people's privacy will be tampered with. And data and the rollout of AI and machine learning and deep learning, if you will, is going to be even faster. So what I see happening is Agenda 2030 unfold, which is really the drones and robots and what have you, like we've seen in all these movies in the past,
Yeah.
unfold to try to control humanity, because they don't, you can control robots, so to speak. So this is why people should know their soul, because humans, if we don't eat correct, if we don't breathe, drink good water, and it's getting harder and harder for good food and water, what have you, parasites can take over the mind. Um, and there's also implants as well, and that's another topic. But you mentioned how President Trump spoke of UFOs and of those ET implants. So there's a lot of things happening on Earth that humans are walking around without even realizing. And those who really sought and went down the rabbit hole, if you will, sort of know what's going on. But even more so now, we just got to stay on top of the information and keep moving forward. That's the key. And talking, on shows like what you're doing and spreading the message is good.
So you can help us understand where we're at personally with your numerology code that you developed. So tell me, how is that different from the regular numerology?
Okay, so that's a good question. So regular numerology is just, in its simplistic, normally talks about the life path number, which is one number.
Right.
But when you have the 4-numbered sequence code, the first number, our identity number, is infused from the sun and moon, because the sun and moon are emitting. I think of it as a radio. The sun is the transmitter and the moon is the receiver. So it's a vortex of a frequency, if you will. So my identity is a number 2. If you give me your day and month, I can break down your identity, and then that forms a combination of frequency, if you will. So we begin to profile and bioresonate with the team around us, whether it be in business life or personal life. So that's why you may have a group of people, and some two of that group will get along better than this other person with that other person, so to speak. It's all got to do with energy and frequency. And so what my code does is shows accuracy, and it'll amp up synchronicity. So I'm all about accuracy, Jules. So what makes it different is it gives a more holistic approach of a person. It's not just one number. It's the 4-number sequence code infused from all the planets, just simplified. Because again, astrology is a beautiful science, but it's a complex science. That's something that I also do as well. But the code is something that I can show people because I can align them. Just like you have an osteopath or chiro that aligns people, or an acupuncturist, if you will, or Reiki. I align the soul through the code, so people understand how to maneuver their day. So for example, I'm in Sydney right now, so it's the 18th of January. So today is a 1 + 8 is a 9, and I'm a number 2. So my identity is a 2, and it's a 9 day. If you add that together, 2 + 9 is 11, 1 + 1 is 2. I'm running a 2 day today. So 2 is good for speaking or doing an interview, so to speak, or 2 is good for giving a food or a basket of food to a charity. So it's all about the timing and being strategic.
Wow.
And so many, it's limitless in its application. So when my clients are connected to me, I'm showing them how to maneuver with their own biorhythms, their cycle. So yeah, it's
Wow. Right on target, it sounds like. That is really incredible because I've been following numerology for a long time, and I've got a 3. I'm a 3. So, but those other aspects never came into play. So it's like, okay, now I can fully understand. If I have a reading by you, I can fully understand what to do and how to plan out my life. Is that correct?
yeah, it's like you're planning your diary for the month. So for example, in January is a 1 month. So because I'm a 2 in my identity, I'm running a 3 month. So you're going down from the micro. I'm running a 2 day in a 3 month in a 7 year. So we're breaking it down. So you heard of the term as above, so below, as within, so
Yes.
without. So if I'm running a 3 year, I know it's very good for me to do marketing, or to write a book or read a book, or to teach or to learn. So you can pretty much see the month ahead, and you can maximize your frequencies and energy so you can tip things in your favor a little bit more. You know, nothing's 100%, but the biorhythms of our energies are affected from the planets because they're emitting frequencies. So, and Nikola Tesla knew this. So yeah, it's all about a holistic process. So if you're a 3, that's your third number. You would have 2 numbers that would add up to that. So it could be, you could be a 1 2 3 6 or a 2 1 3 6. You could be a 9 3 3 6 or a 3 9 3 6, depending. But so then you begin to know your 4-number sequence code, if you will.
Wow.
What's your day and month?
6:15.
Okay, so 6:15, the 15th of June.
Yes.
So 15 plus 6 is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So your identity is a 3. 3 is childlike. You look younger than you are. So you're a 3 and I'm a 2. We form 5. So 5 is intellect, speed on the internet, because the internet is fast. It's in the ether. 5 is travel. So you're traveling through Zoom, so to speak. So you form frequencies with people. So when you know that, when people are in the business world or in the personal life world or in the dating world or in human resource management, they can profile more accurate, so everyone's more productive. And that's the key. That's what you know, we should be doing. And
Oh yeah.
So now I know you, Code, because I can sort of reverse engineer, because you're a 3 in the third number. So you're a 3 9 3 6. So that's why you got 2 3s. That's why you look much younger than you are.
Oh, good. On camera, anyway. Not my day-to-day life. Yeah.
But yeah, it's very important for people to understand their frequencies, because they're operating at the soul level. You know, they're not operating at a facade, because Source wants us to be authentic. Our upbringing allows us to have all these layers, and it's not good for your health. You're not productive, and you're not true to yourself. So, and the whole idea is, you know, we're here in this planet for one life cycle. You want to maximize it, and that's why I guide people with the ESP code.
Wow. See, this is great. This is what we need to know right now. So when you have a person comes to you over, say, over Skype or Zoom or whatever, and you give them a reading, what are some of the things they're going to find out that's going to help them?
Yeah, so when people have a reading with me or a realignment, what I do is I mind map notes. So we record it through Zoom, just like we're doing now, and I'll go through, say, 3 desired outcomes or problems or obstacles they have, and I map out a blueprint, because I begin to channel and write down on the paper, and I send them those images. And particularly when people have a realignment with me, like a 33 days they're connected to me, I want them to ask questions, because to measure is to treasure. The code is about applying these practically. So they may send out a question on WhatsApp and I'll answer back. And I was saying, for example, one could be, look, I'm looking to joint venture with this person. What do you think of this combination? Or I'm looking to date this person. What do you think? So it's all about testing it. So then they see how things maneuver, but it's putting the jigsaw puzzle for them. And so when they're doing not just the reading, the realignment with me and they're connected, I want people to ask questions. And when my clients ask questions, they begin to see their Picasso unfold, if you will.
Oh, I
And that's
love
what it's
that.
about. Because you want it to be practical.
Yeah. You want to use it. You want to use it. You want to change your life with it. And basically, you can change your life, change your direction by understanding what your code is.
Yeah, and synchronicity is a beautiful thing. I mean, Carl Jung termed the word synchronicity. He's actually a 6399, so he was very spiritual. I'm a master 33, so I'm a 2463, but a 33. That's why I have 33 as my brand. It's got
Wow.
nothing to do with the new world or anything. It's got to do with just numbers and the science. And I have so many synchronicities. Like I've had a lady who's actually collaborated with former US presidents and been on the Oprah show, and she came and I advised her, and she had her own break for about 3 or 4 years, and I just gave her a bit of extra validation. And she's a 6399, similar to Carl Jung. I have another person who's a humanitarian at heart. He's a 2799, because I've seen how the patterns work, and he's actually knew people that knew a couple of former presidents and also knew Fidel Castro. So
Wow.
there's different callings for people, if you will. And I've found, like, you look back in history too, some of the most powerful people in the political, or billionaires, or business entrepreneurs, or media moguls, whatever, have always had their own astrologer as their guide for hundreds of years. And so I'm got this code to help humanity. And my goal is to impact 10 million, and I'm going to try to use technology to do that. I've had this vision for 3 years. It's just a matter of collaborating and finding the right people to create the platform. But I'm thinking now is the time, because so many people are being censored. You know, everyone's on their own,
Yeah.
trying to get their own communication going, if you will, because these tech giants are taking people off.
Boy, yeah, I know. I've been censored a couple times myself. It's not fun, but here we are. Okay, so let's get back to the US then. When do you see us getting on the upside instead of encountering all these issues? When are we going to experience a, a better scenario soon?
I think 15th, around mid-September this year, we'll see a shift again on Earth, and particularly in America. Things may unfold a little bit more. There may be a little bit more clarity for Earth in general, because there's a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of shock on for people, especially in the next couple of weeks. I mean, if you look at the news, also there's governments across different countries have actually, I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but just in the last couple of days have stood down. So
Yes, Angela Merkel just resigned. There's a whole bunch of world leaders in their countries stepping down. This is like amazing. And it's like all at the same time as the inauguration for us, it's like, wow, this is
yeah, there's
this is why we came to Earth at this time to
yeah no
experience this, because this is once in many lifetimes event. That's the feeling I get.
yeah, I definitely think so, and I actually think for quite some time, at least 2,000 years, humanity this side will get the benefit like it should have been, but things have to just roll out and play. But yeah, there's that's just happened in the last couple of days, so I believe there's going to be a lot of things happening in the next couple of weeks that people that have been truth seekers sort of already knew, but the masses are going to go, whoa, okay, this sort of was right, this is not a conspiracy, okay, what's going on? And they're going to be even in more need for people like you and I to guide and find their inner self, if you will.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. This is the time where we've got to find our own center. And I believe that you can help people get there. We're going to need you. People are going to need you desperately just to get some kind of anchor to their current life and where they are, because things are coming out. Human trafficking is coming out, and it's horrific, horrific. So
Yes.
there's just devastation, of control of it's just some really weird stuff's coming, and we've got to know how to get centered in it. We've got to know our power within us. And
I
that's,
agree.
it sounds like what you do. You help us see what we're missing about ourselves.
Yeah, no, very much so. I mean, I've always cross-referenced. I'm a because I have um, two similar numbers to you. I'm a 246. So I'm a child at heart. So I'm always seeking, and that's when you're seeking from an innocent angle, you find the true answers out there. And because I've met so many people that have like yourself really clue with what's going on, and that and the human trafficking is all the four corners of earth,
Yes.
and it is one of the. This is why the President Trump was one of his first things that he wanted to totally annihilate, because Australia doesn't know, but it's viral here as well. So there's so many things happening. It's just our history is being distorted. These powers and conglomerates, if you will, have controlled the narrative for so long that there's a lot of half truths out there. So people sort of going, look, I sort of couldn't be bothered, I'll just go with the trend. But unfortunately, humans are going to have to now, they're going to have to rise and step up a bit, because they're talking about their soul now. And as you said, we're here in one life cycle. You want to create your own gift to humanity. I mean, that's ultimately what Source wants us to, and there's no reason why we all can't be abundant in doing that. There isn't no reason, and that's the beautiful thing. Hopefully, with 2021, or with faith, is this will now allow people to do that, but they're gonna obviously have a shock first. The majority of people who haven't been up to scratch with a lot of things. But that's needed, I think. It's like peeling an onion. When you peel an onion, emotions come to the surface. You just shift through and keep going, keep persevering.
But we are going to have a shocker, huh?
But I think it's good. Like,
okay.
It's needed.
It's revealing the stuff that we haven't been exposed to yet.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, there's so much things, like numerology is like you said, it's a compass, if you will. It just validates and brings people back in alignment with their soul. That's why I call it the Essence, Soul, and Purpose Code, ESP code. So
I love that.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I love that. That is so great. It's like the perfect timing. Now, I've got to be truthful. I had a cancellation on somebody coming on my show. And then all of a sudden you popped up. And I'm going, wait a minute, I don't know this guy, but I got to have him on. So it was like in a split second that happened. Now, this is divine interruption here for us to realize that you're on this show today for a distinct reason. Is because I believe you have some of the answers that we are looking for individually, because many of us are not feeling our power yet. We're feeling like we're stuck, we're home, we're unable to do the things that we need to do. And I just think, wow, you are a very important person that we have got to get to know better. Now, how do people find you?
Yeah, they can Google my name, Stanley Tsiamoulis. That's on Zoom. But my website is Zenith, Zene, spelled with an E-T-H, culture.com, CULTURE. So on there, on the footer, are all my contact details and my social media handles. I've got YouTube videos up. It's actually quite funny, because the most recent one that I just uploaded, I had recorded it about 7 months back, and it was based on law of attraction. And then as I was sifting through my email, I'd actually sent you an email 3 months back, and I thought, I'll just send an email out. And then the collective cosmic consciousness, if you will, had that opening from the cancellation for allow us to have this talk. But that happens with the biorhythms. So when you're in flow with the energy, we are all one. And that's where singularity, the true term of singularity, comes from, because our consciousness is all connected on this earth system. And when people understand how to interpret the synchronicities and discern them, because we have deja vus and coincidence happen, but sometimes if we're in the wrong mindset, we're going to be attracting the wrong synchronicities. So the whole idea is to calibrate. So yeah, they can find me at zenithculture.com. But yeah, something told me to just flick that email through, and here we go. You're the Law of Attraction Network. So it's like it's a, this
It,
happens all the time. Synchronicities happen all the time.
but
Uh,
when you're in alignment, and that's what you do, you bring people into the alignment and understanding the direction they need to go. And again, I'm going to state right now, who knows the direction, because we have been stopped by this COVID thing. My state, California, has been shut down, and I'm supposed to be having a high school reunion in October, and they're saying, no, we can't have it because we still have COVID. I'm going, in October? I mean, that's way out. But they're like, okay, we stopped living. We stopped living. And it's like, we shouldn't stop living. We need to continue to grow. And you're the answer for this.
yeah, I'm one of the answer, one of the pillars.
But you are the pill. You are a pillar for us to come and discover which way do we go. That's important right now because we don't have direction. All I know is I picked this time to be alive because this is an experience I want to have. But on another note, I want to know which way I'm going. I want to know. I want to be able to get there. And right now, with all this information and censoring and all that, we just can't know. And I think you're the ticket for us to understand. So I'm going to suggest that people contact you. And because you're in Australia, that's not something that's going to stop anyone from getting to you, because we do have Zoom and you're available, right? You don't have any.
Yeah. No, I've got my phone number there that connects to Zoom, goes to my Skype. I'm connected with WhatsApp. And I actually, I'm going to try to do a question and answer forum. I started it, but I've got to rekindle it again on Zoom, where the more people that can come on, I can start doing just live, just codes to different people, and you'll see the aha moments manifest. Like, for example, there may be 3 people, total strangers, in that room, and they'll have the same code. The probabilities I've seen, some happen to me manifest, that I've seen 1 in 43 million, and those synchronicities are everywhere because I see it through numbers, if you will. So yeah, people calibrating and knowing their path, and even parents knowing what's right for the child, because the children that are being born now, they're old souls, a lot of them. You got the crystal children, the indigos from before the rainbow. These kids coming through are the ones who are going to be really, really advanced. And that's why people have to understand life cycles as well. I can actually go and discern and decipher people's past lives with the code as well. And we bring forth those energies. We don't realize it. And when people do regressions, with a qualified regression therapist, you can see some of those attributes that people bring in here. And we just have to learn from the mistakes, make sure we don't repeat them, and keep moving forward. And look, again, nothing's easy. It's a everything is practice, and you apply everything practically. But when they're connected to me, the beautiful thing is they'll see synchronicities beyond all measure. I say, like, even Carl Jung would be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I love what I do. I love this topic, and if people want to reach out, they can.
You can tell you love it, and it really gets you excited. And yeah, you found your purpose. That's great. We need
Thank you.
you. We need you desperately. This has been such a great show, so informative, and something that everybody needs to experience. So I'm going to have you back on many times. Perhaps we have a platform for you. So we're going to be talking
Be
about
good.
that right after this we air. So anyway, I can't thank you enough, Stan. This has been wonderful. I'm going to have all the information where all the listeners can contact you directly, and this is divine intervention here. So I'm thrilled about this.
And likewise, you got to love divine intervention.
Absolutely. Especially right when we absolutely need it. There it is. That's the
agree.
miracle of life. It's just wonderful. So, with that, any last words for our wonderful listeners?
Yeah. Uh, I have I say, learn, live, and love your essence, soul, and purpose.
Wonderful. Okay, this is great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see a lot more of you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jules. It was an honor being on the show. Blessings.
Blessings.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.